Just to keep you informed about what Manhattan Bridges is about, let me talk to you about the marvels of this amazing high school. Manhattan Bridges High School is not only 23rd in New York State, but it's also 142nd in the United States. We have great reviews and we have even won a gold medal.
Latinos have the lowest college graduation rate, and the ones who mostly go to two-year colleges. So if you ask me, what are we doing here in Manhattan Bridges High School, I would say that we're changing history.
It's diverse. Diverse school.
In one word, happy-go-lucky.
The school.
Profound.
One word, how would you describe the school?
I would describe the school as innovative.
I would say fun.
How would you describe the school?
Family.
Just asked me, like, how would I describe the school in one word? And the only word that comes to mind is cocoon, capullo. And the reason is because caterpillar will build this cocoon around, it will hibernate, and it becomes a butterfly. So I feel the school, it's the cocoon, the capullo, yours. 'Cause you guys come here from all over the world with different struggles, you name it, then you become the best you can in 4 years, or even less. But I feel that the best way we can describe it is like that, and I hope that we're helping you become that.
You gave me all this information, but is that it?
That's a great question, my friend, but that's not all indeed. See, in New York State, 64% of Latinos graduate, whereas in Manhattan Bridges High School, more than 90% of Latinos graduate. Well, that's a great question. So Manhattan Bridges High School opens door like this.
No, Nelson. Metaphorically.
Oh, not that kind of doors? I'm kidding. So in Manhattan Bridges High School, we're building a bridge for immigrants who feel alienated at first, but then, after passing through that bridge, in those 4 years, they feel completely at home. A bulletin board and a knowledge board must never be compared. See, if we're talking about a bulletin board, we're talking about a board that contains a list of the best students, perhaps a board that highlights students' work, research papers, which often fail because students, no matter what teachers say, use Google and use Wikipedia, which are not reliable at all. Now, if we're talking about knowledge board, we're talking about working in teams, college level research, college level analysis, and databases, which obviously provide reliable information and unbiased information. So if you ask me, why the knowledge board? Getting ready for college.
We chose A Rose for Emily for several factors. Among them, I will say we chose A Rose for Emily because of its history, the irregularity of its structure, and the symbolism of time. A Rose for Emily portrayed the Deep South and how people were influenced by it. Also, we chose A Rose for Emily because of how William Faulkner, represents time. The story doesn't follow a regular structure. Instead, it starts with a flashback when Emily had died. It was fascinating to see how William Faulkner represented the United States history with a Gothic story.
Databases provide unbiased and reliable information. That way we don't misinform the spectators. As you know, we live in a post-truth era where people believe what might not be true. Databases are also reviewed by the authors. That way we can have a more reliable source. Not only that, but databases are also paid by the library. That way we can have it for free. So why pay for something that might not be true?
I had talked about a week before, and I've been going around saying what's happening, and all I'm hearing is, huh? November 23rd? Guys.
Hello, my name is is Annalyn Reyes, and I am the project manager of the Mini Knowledge Board. As you guys may or may not know, there is a big knowledge board and a mini knowledge board. You guys may be wondering or asking to yourselves, why am I part of this mini knowledge board? Well, it is evident after watching my peers work with each other that there's more anarchy and turmoil when they work with each other.
With a big knowledge board, we have the opportunity to connect Arrows for Emily with other literary works.
Also, with a big knowledge board, we got the opportunity to develop multiple skills.
Finally, we all get to know each other better.
And the reason why I chose to be the proofreader is because I feel like I have a knack for pointing out and finding grammatical errors that are very hard to find.
I'm the quality control, and I love to see the work in its best quality. And since I have to read a lot of papers, I believe that checking for spelling and grammatical errors actually improves my own vocabulary.
The Knowledge Board is a student-made project. Therefore, the rubric has to be made by a student. Not only the rubric, but also the entire project has been planned and produced by the class.
This may look like an art project, but we have a talented team in a multimedia world who wanted to contribute all their talents and connect with all viewers. Here's what else was happening.
I was so embarrassed to not have a library card to access the database. I had to fix that fast. Conveniently, there's a library 1 block away from school.
This room, Lasco's room, is where we spend most of the time logging in the New York City Library databases.
What can we say in this?
You like to torture me, is that correct?
Yeah!